a friend on there. Let's see here. Roy Henderson. Okay, so how's it going? Everybody doing today? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Hopefully you guys are doing good. As always, I like to start off the video by saying, um, that I want to thank the essential workers out there. Hopefully, you guys are being safe. You guys are being positive. You guys are washing your hands. We want to thank you for all you do and just everything. So, as always, wash your hands before and after every meal. To the ones that are kind of doing the whole quarantine thing right now, hopefully you guys are safe about it. Hopefully you guys are taking care of each other. Hopefully you guys are resting the body, resting the mind. I'm trying to get a friend to join here. Hopefully he shows up soon, and hopefully, let's see here. Hopefully everything works out. I'm not sure how we do this, but okay. Hopefully he shows up soon, or he talks soon, or something. Hopefully he joins the program soon. So we'll see. We'll go from there. Oh, sorry about that. So today we're gonna talk about, or actually, you know what? I got something else better. Give me one quick second, guys. Aww. Hey everybody, how's it going? Sorry hopefully, about that, guys. Hold on. All right, so you're about to hear some noise, guys. I'm really sorry about that. It's just a bunch of just bad stuff went wrong. So.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Roy, how you doing, man?
Good, good.
Yeah. So sorry again, dude. I don't know what was going on, but so we're already live, dude. So nothing's happened yet. I just did my whole intros and everything. It's just though my Facebook Live didn't want to work for whatever reason. I tried tagging you, but it wasn't happening. So
yeah, no, I was trying to I was trying to figure out what's going on. I was like,
yeah, I know.
I need to download the Messenger app or what? I don't think I have the Messenger app.
Okay, is that what it is? Yeah, I tried yesterday and it was working good, but today I guess it just took a little crap on me. But that's okay. As long as I have you on the phone, I do want to thank you for coming. So, like I said, dude, I just did my whole intro, and so now we're just gonna get this going. So we're gonna start off with the Chiefs. So again, Roy is here today because of the he's gonna do the Chargers schedule. If you guys haven't noticed by now, this is AFC West reaction to the schedule. I did have other people incoming, but life is happening right now, so I do hope they're all okay. But right now it's just me and Roy. But we're gonna go in order on how each team finished the division. So Roy, you're gonna have to sit back a little bit because your Chargers kind of took a dump last year, man, so to speak.
Understood. Gave me a therapeutic. Always teaching them.
But have you looked at the other schedules, or is it just?
No, I looked at my schedule. First game is Bengals. I think it's tonight. That's Thursday.
Oof. Well,
yeah.
Let's start it off with the Chiefs, my man. Let's see. So, as we already knew, the Chiefs were going to get the first game of the year because how they've been doing it for the longest now is the Super Bowl champions always get the home opener. So, the Chiefs are going to have the kickoff game against the Texans on September 10th. That's going to be a good one. I don't care what people say. I think what it is, it's just the excitement that football's back. And, it doesn't matter what Bill O'Brien did. It's still going to be a good game. Deshaun Watson versus Patrick Mahomes for the opening kickoff game. Yeah, sign me up, dude. I'm in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
there'll be a battle between one of the two young up-and-coming quarterbacks, take over the next generation.
Oh, yeah, I'm all for it. Then week 2, this is kind of where you make your early entry. They're going to go to L.A. They're going to go to L.A. They're going to play the Chargers. I mean, we'll see. I mean, that's it's SoFi now. It's no longer the Dignity Health Sports or Home Depot Arena, whatever it was called. It is now the Chargers' new home stand. at LA. So I mean, I'm sure that's going to be an exciting game there too. Division games are always exciting, at least for my opinion.
Mine too. It's a major game. The first time we get to see Justin Herbert really play against really, really experienced, talented team.
Oh man!
You know, obviously playing against world champions is going to be a major test for the team. Yeah, our defense and like our like I was saying earlier, our young quarterback handles. Yeah, we'll see, man. I'm excited for the start of the NFL season.
Oh man, we all are. Then we move on to week 3 for the Chiefs. They're going to go up against the Baltimore Ravens again. Monday Night Football at Baltimore. Again, Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. Sign me up, man. Sign me the hell up.
You're for it, man.
I mean, you know, as a fan itself, like as a fan of football itself, you just like seeing these matchups, man, because you're just like, oh man, this is gonna be good. this is gonna be good. You know, I mean, this could be. I mean, this was supposed to be the AFC Championship game last year, but Baltimore kind of had a little problem with the Titans, apparently. So, I mean, it happens, but
yeah.
But then here we go. The Chiefs get back-to-back home games, week 4 against New England. We'll see how the Patriots look now that Tom Brady and a bunch of other guys left. So we'll see how that happens. And then week 5, the Raiders are going to come into town. I'm actually kind of happy as a Raider fan myself because it always seemed like the Raiders had to go at the end of the year when it was cold, and the Raiders do not like the cold. So I'm actually kind of glad that it's going to be chilly, but it ain't going to be like bad, you know, weather this time around. So I'm actually okay going to Kansas City at week 5. I'm all for that. So, you know, we'll see how these guys do. Hopefully they don't get embarrassed again by the Chiefs again.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
Then they really can't rest that much because literally 4 days later, week 6, they got to play the Buffalo Bills at Buffalo. So that's kind of that's a tough stretch for the Chiefs, I believe, because week 5 you got to play a division game, which is, you know, you never know because it could be tough or it could be a blowout depending on how you look at it. But week 6, you only have 3 days really 2 days to prepare for the Bills. Then you got to leave to Buffalo, and it's like, oh man, and Buffalo's no joke. So you're kind of like on a short week against a really good team. So,
especially if it's cold, can you imagine it's cold in Buffalo already?
I mean, October. Look, New York. I mean, Buffalo should have just, you know, it should just have Canada's Weather Channel because that's what it mostly is. And by that time, Canada is gonna, you know, be cold. So I expect Buffalo to be cold at that time too.
Yeah.
Then they get a little rest, but they got to go on the road again. But this time they got to go to Mile High, another cold city, at Denver on October 25th. So it's like, I don't know. I think this is probably going to be their only tough stretch for the Chiefs. I mean, yeah, you know, week 1 you get Houston, then you get back-to-back road games against the Chargers at the Ravens. But then you get a little rest. But then after the Raider game, you really got to go at Buffalo. Then you got to go to, you know, Denver, and then you got to play the Jets, you know, the following week on November 1st. I think this is their toughest stretch is that Thursday Night Football stretch. It's going to be tough for Kansas City, but they're a good enough team. I don't expect them to have any problem. It's just, you know, any given Sunday, or in this case, any given Thursday, you know. Then week 9, the Panthers, you know, Teddy Bridgewater's the new man. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it works out for them. And then they have the bye week. And I think it's very important for people to realize that week 10 is probably a good spot for the Chiefs because just looking at their schedule and looking at their dates, it's just, man, it's game, and then game again. It's a tough stretch for the Chiefs, but I mean, I think they can handle it. And then they have the bye week at 10. Week 11, they got to go to Vegas for a Sunday night matchup game against the Raiders at Vegas. That's a hot ticket right there. I mean, I'm already looking at prices. I'm already looking at everything. We're talking about 500 to 600 smacks, you know, just it's a hefty price if you want to go, guys. Just to let you know, it's a hefty price. So, get ready for that one. Then week 12, they got to go to Tampa Bay, and then week 13, they got another Sunday Night Football matchup against the Denver Broncos, and then weeks 14, 15, back-to-back road games at Miami, at New Orleans. Then they finish out the season at home with the Falcons and the Chargers. You guys finish the Chiefs finish up with the Chargers on that week 17 slate. So overall, for my reaction for the Chiefs is just that last few weeks before the bye. I think it's kind of hurt them a little bit because they got to play the Ravens. We don't know what the Patriots are really going to be. The Raiders, well, they've dominated the Raiders for the last, few seasons now. So it could either be a blowout or maybe the Raiders can put up a good game. So we'll see. But then they got to prepare for the Bills just 4 days later. Then they got to prepare for another division game. Then they got to stay home for the Jets and the Panthers. I think for me, my only reaction to that is that last stretch before the bye, it might be just a little game record for them. Like, man, they might lose to a couple teams that any other year they probably would have won, but because of how the schedule went out, I think this could be their tough stretch. You have any reactions, Roy, to their schedule?
Yeah, I think their schedule is going to be a really difficult schedule to me. I think the beginning of the schedule is very difficult. Just playing the Ravens. I feel like playing the Ravens and the Texans and the Chargers in just a short period of time can be very difficult for them just because of the nature of the hard-hitting games that they're going to have to play.
And that's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't realize that, these guys, all like the regular fans, at least, they just think, oh, it's just a game. They got it. But, it's like, no, dude. I mean, these guys have to be like, it's a stretch because, they got the Chargers, then they got to play the Ravens at Monday night. Then they got to play the It's like, dude, like, you don't understand. It's not just the physical, it's the mental of it too. It's like, if mentally, if these guys are drained, it's gonna be tough for them to, come back from it.
Oh yeah, man.
But
football is definitely mental sport. A lot of brain power goes into it. A lot of mental toughness.
And I think that's the thing people don't realize. So, but overall, the schedule, I think it gets better for them down the stretch. They do have some tough opponents, like New Orleans, Tampa Bay. We don't know what the Falcons are going to be like. And then, the division game against you guys, you guys always go back and forth, every year. It seems like you guys always split. So we'll see what happens. But overall for the Chiefs, it is a nice balance at the end. But I just think if they can just get through the first 9 weeks with just no mental errors, I think they're going to be in a good spot. So, I mean, that is my prediction on the Chiefs there. Then moving on to the Broncos. So the Broncos, there's hope for them. They got Drew Lock. Looks like they finally found the quarterback of the future. They drafted well. They put pieces around him for him to succeed. The defense is going to come back stronger. I know that Chris Harris left, but Bradley Chubb's going to come back. Von Miller's going to be a beast still. They got some good defensive players. I do see the Broncos competing against the Chiefs for the division. I know a lot of people hear that and they scoff, but it's, it's really true. Like, look, when you put the pieces back, they traded for AJ Bouye. Bradley Chubb's going to come back. The defensive line is still intact for the majority of the part. Me personally, I think Denver has a chance to compete with the Chiefs. I think so, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I think Denver's a sleeper for division champs.
I keep telling people that, I keep telling people that, but they don't want to believe it. It's like, guys, just wait till like we're week 12, and it's like, man, I can't believe the Broncos might have a chance to win the division. Yeah, I could have told you that at May. But
I don't know. A lot of people are sleeping on the KJ Hamler pick.
I think
he's one of the receivers that has top rated. He's right underneath Jalen Reagor for me in regards to.
I think the reason was because he didn't really, and that's the thing. Like the normal fans, like after round 1, nobody really knows. But I mean, that KJ Helmer kid, I mean, he's not a bad wide receiver. He's gonna go very well with Cortland Sutton, opposite of him. It's gonna work, And with the arm that Drew Lock has, it's not gonna be hard for him to find him. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. And they'll prove it week 1 against the Titans. They're gonna be one of the teams for that doubleheader Monday Night Football game. Titans Broncos. This is gonna be interesting because Jarrell Casey is now in the Broncos, and now he has to play his former team. So I know there's going to be a little bad blood there, but I mean, that's going to be fun. A representative for the championship game and the sleeper for the division. So that was probably a good choice by the schedule makers from the first Monday Night Football game. Week 2, they got to go to Pittsburgh. I don't know the situation in Pittsburgh. I don't know if, Big Ben's going to come back. Like, he's going to come back, but is he going to come back mentally ready? Is he going to be football ready? That's my only thing because, him being away for so long, his time is, he doesn't have that much time left. I don't know the mental aspect of Big Ben, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's proven us wrong before. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and this should be another good game. Week 3, they got Tampa Bay at home. So again, Tampa Bay is already being crowned the Super Bowl champions, even though nobody's played a game yet. So we'll see. This is kind of their tough stretch right here. They got to go to New York. After that home game against Tampa Bay, they got to go to New York against the Jets on Thursday Night Football. So that's not a lot of time to prepare. And then they still got to stay on the East Coast the following week to play against New England. Now, I know those two teams really, when you look at it on paper, it's like, the Broncos should take it, but you just played a tough team against Tampa Bay. You just got off Thursday Night Football, and you're still playing on the East Coast against the Patriots. That might be a killer for them. That I would not be surprised if they slip up against the Patriots or the Jets. I would not be surprised at all. It's just that, again, the mental aspect of it, they could, if they come away with 2 wins at that point, that's amazing. But if they go 1-1, it wouldn't surprise me either. It's just the mental aspect of it. Week 6, they got Miami. Week 7, they got Kansas City. Then week 8, they got their bye. So it's kind of in the middle. It's kind of a good spot. You're halfway through the season and you get a bye. So it's kind of good. But then after the bye, you got to go on the road again twice. You got to go up against the Falcons. Then you got to go up against the Raiders, who Denver hasn't won a home game. What was that? Roy? Oh, I think we lost Roy. Did we lose Roy?
I don't know.
Hold on.
No,
Oh, okay. I was like, did we lose you? But yeah, I think for me, it's just, after that bye, they got to go to Atlanta. Then they got to go to the Raiders, who the Broncos haven't won there in a few seasons now. They've beaten the Raiders, but it's only been at Denver. They haven't beaten them at the Raiders home stadium for a while. So it's kind of like, man, back to square one. Then they come back home against the Chargers, against the Saints. Week 13, they got to play the Chiefs at Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. Week 14, Carolina. Week 15, Buffalo. Week 16, the Chargers. And then week 17, the Raiders. And they close out the season playing against the Raiders. So overall, their first 3 games are going to be tough. Tennessee, Steelers, Tampa Bay. Then they got to do a quick turnaround against the Jets, Patriots. Like I said, if they can go to week 8, 4-3, 5-2, I think they're in the right path. It might not sound good at first, but again, you play Tampa Bay week 3. You got to do a quick turnaround on Thursday Night Football against the Jets. And then you still got to stay on the East Coast against the Patriots. Then you come home to Miami and Kansas City. So if they could just finish this 5-2, 4-3, the Denver Broncos are in a good spot by their bye week. So I like their schedule. It's very balanced for home games, away games, but it's going to be a tough one. But I think if what I think is true, I don't see them why they can't compete for a wild card spot or even the division at this point.
Yeah, I actually disagree with you. I disagree with you in this case. I think Denver has a pretty easy schedule. I'm not really sold on the Patriots or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers yet. We'll see. And I'm not really sure about how well to be honest, I'm not really sure about how well the Chiefs are going to play next year either. You know, having that big, I guess, Super Bowl hangover is a real possibility for them.
I mean, that's a real thing too. You know, the Super Bowl hangover is a real thing, guys. So, but
they're real things.
I mean, I think for me, I just look at it on paper right now because obviously, you know, they haven't played a game yet. But I'm just looking at it as from a standpoint of your first game, you got to go up against the runner-up for the AFC. Then you got to go against the Steelers at Pittsburgh, which is never easy. Tampa Bay's already being crowned Super Bowl champions. It's just those two back-to-back road games on the East Coast is what's probably going to throw them off, and that's what I'm saying. On paper, they should beat these guys. It's just back-to-back. It wouldn't surprise me if they slip up at least one of them. At least one. So
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. Like I'm waiting for. I'm not gonna believe that the Tom Brady hype until I see it. You know, I got to see Buccaneers play. You know, I just have to see these teams play. I think the Denver Broncos really are a super team in the AFC, not just the AFC West. I really like their draft. I really did offensively. I really like their draft. I think John Elway always has a way of drafting players that fit his team and pulling off ridiculous things that, you know, I personally, you know, didn't think were possible. But, you know, we'll see how things go. We'll see, man. We'll see.
All right, here we go. Moving on to the third team in the AFC West. It's still kind of weird to say, but here we go. New season. The Las Vegas Raiders. And
it hurt a little bit, huh? A little bit.
I mean, it's not that it hurts. It's just still like weird for me to say that because it's like, I guess, like, yeah, they're in Las Vegas now. So, okay.
I still think San Diego, bro. I still
trust me, dude. Every time we play you guys, it's like, oh yeah, we got to go to San Diego. I mean, LA, whatever.
LA.
You know, like we got to go somewhere. All we know is that we're gonna play the Chargers. Like that's all I know.
Yeah, that's all I know.
But
yeah.
So here, So here we go for the Raiders. Week 1. They actually have to open on the road against Carolina. Now, the Matt Rule era, I don't know how that's going to be. It's a new head coach, new quarterback, new everything for these guys. Luke Kuechly's not there anymore. A bunch of these guys are not there anymore. You know, so I don't know what the Carolina Panthers are right now, other than I know they got Christian McCaffrey, but other than that, that's really about it. I mean, they traded away Trey Turner. They got Russell Okung for it. But at the end of it, it's kind of like, all right, well, we'll see what Matt Rule does. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the new era of Carolina starts after, you know, them firing Ron Rivera after so many years. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's just going to be interesting to see. Then week 2. Oh, go ahead, Roy. Go ahead.
Oh no! I really hate the firing Ron Rivera. I didn't like his. I just was sorry. That's my opinion. I hate the firing of Ron Rivera. I thought he was a great coach. He led them to a Super Bowl. Obviously, they lost. I didn't like how they did Cam Newton either, but you know, that's another story.
Yeah, I don't know what the vision was for Carolina because I think, and to your point, the firing of Ron Rivera, that was just so weird and untimely. And then releasing Cam Newton at a weird time during free agency, right before it was just, I don't know, the Panthers just had a weird offseason where everything just looked like bad timing from Ron Rivera to Cam Newton to bringing in Teddy Bridgewater to hiring their offensive coordinator. It was just bad timing all around, in my opinion.
it just looked like a lot of bad decisions to me. You know, I know we're getting a little off topic, but it was. I don't know how you don't get anything for Cam Newton and all. You just released a Super Bowl quarterback or a quarterback that was a former MVP. I wouldn't do it. I'm at least gonna take around pick one or something.
And to his defense, he wants to be a starter, and I know he could be a starter. It's just these teams now already have their program set up. They already have their roster set up. It's just teams are already set to what they got. I mean, if there's a chance for him to go anywhere, I hate to say it, I hope he goes to New England. I hope he does.
Don't you dare.
I mean, dude, I don't want him to go to New England because I know he'll kick ass. I know that.
Don't even stick this into a position. You want to get another 4 weeks?
I mean, look, that's the only team right now I can see starting. I mean, look, I could say Cincinnati, but again, as I mentioned, if they were going to do that, they should have just stick with Andy Dalton another year and then let Joe Burrow take the reins year 2. But you know how it is in today's NFL. There's no time for development anymore. If you get drafted in the top 10, you're playing week 1, like whether you're ready or not. I think it's stupid. I mean, Tua's going to play. Whether he's ready or not, he's going to play.
I hope he's good. I hope he's ready.
But because I'm looking at the rest of the league, and I'm thinking to myself, where else could he go that he could start? Because it seems like you already got your quarterback. You got Tyrod Taylor. You got Justin Herbert. You're good. You're done. Like, that's it. That's your quarterback room, dude.
I know we're good. I was doing so much draft research for my Chargers, and I really wanted us to get. I wanted to get a left tackle, or left tackle. I wanted Justin. I wanted Wirfs. I wanted the kid from Alabama.
Jedrick Willis, man, he's gonna do great things at freaking Cleveland, man.
Oh my God, he's amazing. Oh my God.
But I mean, to go back to the Cam Newton thing, it's like, where else could he go that it's like, okay, dude, because Denver's already got their quarterback. You guys already got the quarterback. The Chiefs definitely have their quarterback. The Raiders are going to stick it out with Carr and Mariota. I'm looking at the rest of the league, and I'm thinking, well, where else could he possibly go? Because it seemed like all the teams in the NFL, they have their guy. I mean, the only other team I could think of is the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's the only other team I could think of. But I think they're gonna write it out with Gardner Minshew. I think they're gonna write it and just see where it takes them. But I think those are the only 2 teams possible in my eyes where Cam Newton can go right now: Jacksonville or New England. And if he goes to New England, you heard it here first, okay? So, at week 1, the Raiders, they got to go to Carolina. Week 2, this is the game that, I'm looking forward to, because for the first time, I'm not going to go to a baseball stadium to watch a football game. I'm gonna see the Raiders have a home opener in an actual football field on Monday night against the New Orleans Saints. Now, my ticket's good. I'm all set. Now it's just the only thing I'm waiting for is just the day to arrive. That's all I'm waiting for. And I don't know if that town's ready. I mean, I think the NFL kind of screwed Vegas in general, because I think they're going to throw Vegas into the fire right away. Like, because Vegas doesn't know how to handle a football team yet. So for them to throw home opener Monday night right away, I guess that makes up for the draft that they lost. But overall, I don't think the city is ready for a Monday night football game. I don't think they're ready. But here we go. Monday night against the Saints. And God, I hope it's a good one. Week 3.
It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a lot of drunk people in the fans. I'll promise you that.
I mean, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. I mean, Oakland was fun, but let's see how Vegas handles this and everything. Let's see how this goes. So, week 3, they got to go to New England. Week 4, they got to go to the Buffalo Bills. Then week 5, they got to go at Kansas City. And then week 6 is their bye. Look, I like how this played out for the Raiders, at least in my opinion. Road, home, road, home, road. Okay, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. It's just, I think we're gonna get rewarded in the back end because after week 6 is the bye. Week 7, we come back home and we got to play Tampa Bay on Sunday Night Football. So again, this might be the better time for Vegas because it's like, okay, you handled Monday night. Now let's see how you handle Sunday night. Then weeks. I mean, because this is going to be a new experience for everybody in Vegas because, like, it's not just the team aspect, it's the city aspect as well. Because if you're a city and you get a football franchise, you've never had that. You've had college football, but NFL's just a little different. There's money involved. There's everything involved. The aspect of it, the economic wealth, the tourism wealth, just everything blows up when an NFL team hits your city. So we'll see how they handle it because this is what I'm most important. I'm not worried about the Raiders because I already know what they are. I already know who they have on the team and all that stuff. What I'm more concerned about is how is the city going to handle it? That's my thing is, are they going to be a little bit more stricter than that they usually are? Or are they just going to be like, hey, we don't know what we're doing, so free for all for everybody and we'll figure out the rules down the road. That's what I'm looking at. I want to see how the city handles this situation. So again, week 7, Tampa Bay, Sunday Night Football. Then back-to-back road games, week 8 and week 9. Week 8 is at Cleveland. It's at the Dog Pound. I cannot wait. That's going to be a fun one. And then week 9, we just bought our tickets today to go against the Chargers, to go see them at SoFi Stadium. It's going to be so great to have 2 new home stadiums for the Raiders. It's going to be awesome.
Come on, man.
I mean, come on, man. Dude, there's a couple. We've been to a couple games, dude, in San Diego, in Los Angeles, and dude, it just felt like a home game for the Raiders. Yeah, it was bad. And then we do have a question by Adam Hunt. Damn, an early bye for you guys. Yeah, the Raiders have a bye in week 6, which is kind of weird because we're usually the team that gets the bye week 10, week 11, by the latest week 12. But to have it week 6, it's kind of a new thing for me as well. I'm still trying to process, wait, week 6 and we have a bye? What do I do with myself? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do at week 6 now. So we'll see. And then, as I mentioned, week 8 is at Cleveland. Week 9 is at the new stadium at SoFi. I cannot wait. We got our tickets. Me, my lady, my brother, we're ready to go. We're excited. Week 10, Denver's coming to Vegas. And whoops. Oh, Roy, you there?
Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Oh, you're fine, dude. Don't worry, man. Everything's just been going whack today, so we're good. But as I mentioned, week 8, week 9, Cleveland, and then we got to go to the Chargers. And I say this vividly. We got to go play against the Chargers week 9. I don't know. To me, to this day, I don't know why the Chargers left San Diego, but that's another discussion for another time. Week 10 is Denver. Week 11, the Chiefs are coming to Vegas, and they have a Sunday Night Football again. It's just weird to me that the Raiders are finally getting primetime games. I don't know what to do with this. I always expect 1, 2 at the most, but to have 4 this year, that's 2 years in Oakland. I don't know what to do with this information.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's different. It's definitely different. The Raiders are back, man.
Well, the Raiders aren't back. They're just in a new city. That's all it is. They're not back yet. They're just in a new city. Then week 12, they got to head to Atlanta. That's going to be a good one. Week 13, they got to go back to New York. Hopefully, they can avenge that embarrassing loss from last year against the Jets. Then weeks 14 through 16, 3 straight home games. Week 14, we got the Colts again. Week 15, we play the Chargers, but this time it's on Thursday night, so it's a quick turnaround. The Chargers are coming to Vegas. Week 16, the Dolphins are on week 16, and we have another question. Every game at every game at a Chargers stadium feels like a home game for the other team in LA. Come on, guys, be nice. Be nice, okay? So, look, it's not the Chargers' fault that the owner decided to, pack up and leave, okay? They could have built something in San Diego, okay?
I feel your decision. I believe our owner's name is Dean Thanos or something. I don't like his decision to move.
Because from the last thing I heard, when this was going down, San Diego had something in place for the Chargers. All Dean had to do was fork up a couple bucks. That's it, dude. Just cough up a couple bucks, dude, and you got yourself a state-of-the-art stadium in San Diego. But whatever, he decided to go where the big market, which, I mentioned a couple videos, ago that I don't think value market, like the city market, like it doesn't have an effect anymore. Like it's not as what it used to be like in the 80s and 90s. Because, in the 80s and 90s, if you said, hey, man, I play in Los Angeles, that, like, oh, crap, that's a cool city. Nowadays, with live streaming here, the direct TV with the NFL ticket there, you can catch games on your phone on YouTube. The Raiders went from, this is a perfect example, the Raiders went from a top 10 market standpoint in Oakland to the 60th in Vegas. But everybody's excited for Vegas because of where you're at. And it doesn't matter, where you're at. It's just for me personally, the Chargers belong in San Diego.
Well, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I think another point to add on to what you're saying is that I think the Rams are more of LA's team than the Chargers are. I think LA embraces the Rams more than.
And even then, that's up for debate because really it's, how it is, dude. We've lived in Southern California almost our whole lives, if not our whole lives. If you're a team in Southern California and you're not winning, I got other options. I could go to the beach. I can go to an amusement park. I can go catch a movie. It's just, it's hard to win in LA. It's hard to win in LA. You have to be contending every year to keep the fans' attention. Because the second you start losing, the attention goes away, and then we have other options. And it's a shame, really. You know what I mean?
Exactly. There's too many things to do in LA, and there's too many teams. There's 2 basketball teams. There's hockey. There's 2 different baseball teams. Like to your point, if you're not winning in LA, like the Chargers weren't winning last year, you're not LA's favorite team.
And I don't want to. I think that's a harsh word, to use fair weather fans for for sports, to call LA fans fair weather, because in retrospect there are true diehard LA fans, there are out there. It's just it's not enough to overcome all the other aspects. You know what I mean? Because of all the other distractions that we got, it's just hard to win in LA. LA is a hard market. That I do agree. So, and then, finishing up week 16, Tua's coming to town with the Dolphins. And then week 17, we got to finish up with the Broncos. My perspective from this schedule, I looked at it and I overlooked at it. It's very well balanced. It's very well balanced. Like, you got your little tough stretch of away games at week 8 and 9, but then you finish the season, 3 out of your 4 games are at home. And that's really hard to get in today's NFL. It's really hard to get that. So for the NFL schedule makers to throw us a freaking bone and have 3 out of our last 4 games at home, I couldn't be any happier. I'm satisfied with how the schedule came out. It's way better than last year's schedule. I'll tell you that.
That's right.
So, I mean, other than that, God, I can't wait for Vegas. So we'll see how that goes. And I hope if anybody's watching this from Vegas right now, I'm not calling you guys out. All I'm saying is your city better be ready because you just don't know what you're getting yourself into. You don't know.
No,
because
Vegas Raiders fans are gonna be wild.
And-
Let me tell you, they're gonna be drunk. We're talking smack about the Raiders in Vegas.
The first thing I'm gonna do though is when I walk into that casino, I'm gonna send you a picture of the slot machines that are right there, right in front of the entryway. Because everywhere you go in Vegas, there's slot machines everywhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a slot machine in freaking that stadium too. So we'll see. We'll see. So here we go, Roy. You waiting as patiently as you could, my man.
I've been patiently waiting, excited for this. So I almost said San Diego Chargers again.
And to be honest with you, dude, I would have not corrected you at all, man. I am just so stuck on San Diego Chargers, man. It is hard.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
So So you ready to reveal your schedule?
Yeah, I'm ready to reveal the Los Angeles Chargers schedule. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, here we go. So week 1, you guys have to go to Cincinnati, and you guys out of the gate have to play the number 1 draft pick in this year's draft, and Joe Burrow. Hey, it can't get any better than that. Cannot get any better than that.
And it's going to be 2 really, really young quarterbacks going at it. It's going to be a battle of quarterbacks, battle between the teams, and it'll be one of those games that'll be a measuring stick for the rest of their careers to see, which quarterback did better in its situation.
I don't think I've asked you this yet. Who starts week 1 for you guys? Is it Tyrod Taylor or is it Justin Herbert? Who's in your opinion right now? Who starts for you guys?
So right now I've been looking at Anthony Lynn during both press conferences during the offseason, worked out their videos or whatever. And right now we're talking about Tyrod Taylor, but as an NFL fan, like I'm sure and like how we were talking about earlier, there's not really a lot of time for development in the league. So if I'm being completely honest with you, as a Chargers fan, I believe that Tyrod Taylor will start, but I believe the plan that the Chargers have in place is to have him quickly develop. And if he starts, week 1, that would be the best scenario for us. However, to answer your question, I believe Tyrod Taylor starts our first game, but we'll see. We'll really see. I'm not really sold on what any NFL GM or what any NFL court or any NFL coach says. I'd rather just see how things play out in camp.
Because for me personally, I would love to see that. I would love to see Joe Burrow versus Justin Herbert week 1. That'd be great. That would be great.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I wish, I really wish, and this is just me venting to you. I wish, even though I love Murray, I really do. However, I wish we did not give up picks and we had got a starting left tackle that could develop as,
Yeah.
A future stud. That's me. That's me venting. But, we got a stud linebacker, happy for it, but, hey.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Justin Herbert play, be safe.
But that's just the way the dice roll, man, and this is what we got. So we'll see. Then moving on to week 2. You guys gotta go. You guys come home, your home opener, Kansas City. The Chiefs are coming to LA.
Mm-hmm.
They're the Super Bowl champs. They're gonna have a 10-day rest, only due to the fact week 1 they do play Houston for that home opener, and then they get a 10-day rest. So, you guys only get a 7-day rest. And, if you don't think 3 days matter, trust me, they do. They do.
They do. In football time, that's a lifetime.
So
healing your body, that's a lifetime.
Building bye week. Then week 3, you guys got the Panthers. That's going to be another good one. Hopefully the resurgence of Teddy Bridgewater, we'll see how that goes.
I'm not buying
You're not buying it?
I'm not buying it. They don't have any lessons for him.
I understand that point, but it's just I understand. But you ever seen the movie Friday Night Lights?
He said, I'm sorry, Daddy.
You ever seen the movie Friday Night Lights?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, you remember Booby Miles, the dude that could do it all? Well, he has that in Christian McCaffrey. He can run, he can throw, he can catch. So I mean, I know you don't have anybody, but you got Christian McCaffrey. I know a lot of quarterbacks would love that in this league.
Hey, you know what? I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I just don't see it. They got rid of a defensive-minded coach, and they brought in an offensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
And I think the defense will struggle because of that.
Well, I mean, what's going to struggle? What's going to be the hard struggle is you have to find. I mean, you don't have to find them, but you have to try to find a linebacker that can just be level. Because replacing Luke Kuechly that's the hardest part, I think, for this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's hard because Luke Kuechly was a man. He was a player and a man above so many others. I mean, the only guy that pretty much came close to it was Bobby Wagner, and that was about it.
Oh yeah.
That was about it. Any other middle linebacker, I would still take Luke Kuechly over any middle linebacker today.
Definitely.
It's just that it's just hard to replace that. Then, week 4 and week 5, you guys are on the road. You guys got Tampa Bay, week 4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see how that goes. And then week 5, you guys have to go to New Orleans, and it's on a Monday night game.
Yeah, that's a loss. I'm just gonna say that now.
Oh, so that's it. We're that's a loss right there.
That's the L for it.
I mean, because dude, you know how New Orleans gets, dude, especially on a Monday night. They're drunk, they're loud, they want to party. They're probably gonna start partying after their week 4 game and then start partying from there for Monday Night Football. Like that's like for the people that don't understand New Orleans, they party and they party a lot. So they're probably gonna start partying after the final whistle of week 4 and then just start partying for the Chargers to come in for Monday Night Football. That's how long the celebration's gonna be. Like they're just crazy. They're crazy. New Orleans people, I got mad love for you guys because that's where I celebrated my 21st birthday. It was awesome. Just damn, do you guys don't know when to stop? Like, you guys start on a Friday and then you guys don't end on a Saturday 3 months later. Like it's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But week 5, you guys got them Monday night. Week 6, you guys got the Jets at LA. Then week 7, you got to go to Miami. Then to finish out, before your bye week, weeks 8 and 9, you got home games against the Jaguars and against the Raiders. So for your first half of the schedule, there's a lot of intrigue there. I mean, I'm looking at this and there's a lot of intrigue. Starting from Cincinnati, Joe Burrow versus Justin Herbert, the matchup we all want. Because we didn't get that in college because of they played in 2 different conferences. They played in 2, it just didn't. If I'm going to go on to say this right now, had Oregon not lost to Auburn week 1 and the season happened the way Oregon had the season, they would have played LSU in a playoff game this last year in college football. And that's something we all would have want to see. Justin Herbert versus Joe Burrow. That would have been a great college football playoff game. It didn't happen. But hopefully we get this week 1. Hopefully we get this. Give us this much. Give us this much for suffering COVID-19. Give us Cincinnati. Give us the Chargers. Give us Justin Herbert. Give us versus Joe Burrow. Give us that. Just give me that, okay?
Just give us that. Come on.
Look, I'm not suffering from COVID-19. I'm just saying for other people that are, give them that much, okay? Just give them that much, guys.
Yeah.
And then, you guys got the Chiefs, the Panthers, back-to-back tough games against Tampa Bay, New Orleans. The good thing is the Jets are coming to you, and you guys are going to Miami, which is, good weather all year round, so it's not bad. And then you finish off your home slate, weeks 8 and 9 at home against the Jaguars and the Raiders. So who the Jaguars, they have a lot of question marks up in the air. And the Raiders, we just don't know what they are yet. Like, we know what they are based on what they were last year. We just have to see how this draft class kind of changes the format of what they got. But overall, the only tough thing I see, the Saints, the Buccaneers, and the Chiefs. Other than that, you guys got a good, pretty head start in your first half of the year.
Yeah, first half of the season is great.
You know,
Great.
it looks like perfect sailing, you know, because you have to go far, but Cincinnati's not that cold, especially week one. And then your other home games, you know, they're going to be tough. But once you get past that, once you get past Tampa Bay and New Orleans, Jets, Miami, Jaguars, Raiders, I mean, that's a pretty clean slate right there. That's a very clean slate for the Chargers right there.
Yeah, we might throw up 5-2. We might. It depends. It really depends on how our quarterback plays.
I mean, I think that's just the question mark is, okay, who's going to start and how does he handle it? Because remember, the offensive line, at least on the left side, there's still need for major upgrade there. I understand.
Thank you.
I mean, I understand you got Brian Bulaga, you got Pouncey as your center, and then you got Trey Turner as your right guard. The right side is fine. It's just the left side of things. It's kind of like, if these guys can just hold up for a few games, you guys are in a pretty good spot. Just a really good spot right there. And yeah, I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think that's because the defense I'm not worried about. The Chargers defense is going to come back solid. They're going to come back strong. It's going to be fine. It's just offensively, especially the offensive line on the left side, that's kind of where I'm like, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Let's be honest.
I mean,
let's be honest, it's terrible. The left side of about the Los Angeles Chargers offensive line is probably one of the worst ones.
I've seen worse. I've seen worse offensive lines. I wouldn't say you guys are the worst. There were some pretty bad ones last year. I mean, I've seen worse, dude.
Yeah, you're
then, you know, week 10, that's a great spot for a bye week. I mean, that's like, whew. You know, at that point, you only got 6 more games. So it's like, okay, this is the home stretch. Let's just finish strong. The only thing is, your last 6 games, this is kind of where the NFL schedule makers kind of screwed you guys over. 4 out of the 6 games are on the road. You got to go to Denver week 11. You got to go to Buffalo week 12. Week 13, you come back home against the Falcons. Week 14, it's a quick turnaround. You literally play the Falcons, and then you get on the 5 freeway to go to Vegas right after the game. Because you got to go to Vegas week 14 for a Thursday night football game. Then, you know, you come back home to Denver, but then you finish out the year against the Chiefs. Now, it's not bad. Like, you know, when you look at playing the Falcons week 13 and then going to the Raiders at Vegas, because it's like, yeah, you got to travel, but it's only a 3-hour drive, you know? But, you know, it's just at Denver, at Buffalo. You got to play Denver again. And then you got to finish the year against the Chiefs. That's kind of where I'm saying, dang, 4 out of the 6 on the road to finish off the year. As I mentioned earlier, I'm happy the schedule makers threw us a freaking bone and gave us 3 out of 4 at home. They fucking just said, nah, here's 4 out of 6 on the road. Good luck to the rest of you. Like, yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, you know what though? This is something that only the real Chargers fans know. That it goes along with what you were saying too. We actually play better on the road, so I'm not really too worried about this.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, for the last at least 2 out of the 3 seasons on the road, you guys are road warriors. You know what I mean?
We have a better record on the road the last 2 seasons than we do out.
It's just weird to say that because you would think it's just weird to hear that, like, you guys have a better record on the road than you guys do at home. It's kind of like, what the hell? You know what I mean? But it is what it is, you know, but I just don't – I think for me that's the only negative thing I could find on your schedule was 4 out of the 6 are on the road. that's
Yeah.
that's a killer. I mean, because
Yeah.
look, Denver, you guys always put up classic 2-minute games. Like the last 2 minutes are going to decide who wins and who loses. Like
Exactly.
that's what it always comes down between you guys. You guys got to go to Buffalo, who right now are favored to win the AFC East. But you guys got to go to Buffalo to do that. You guys come home. You guys got the Falcons. You guys can regroup, but really not that much because 4 days later, you guys got to go to Vegas to play the Raiders. You guys come back. You guys get a little 10-day rest to go up against the Denver Broncos. But then the following week, you guys got to go to Kansas City. So it's kind of like I'm looking at those road games and I'm like, I can honestly sit here and say at best 2-2.
At best.
And that's like at best 2-2 for those 4 out of 6 on the road.
I will say this. We have if our offensive line holds up and we hit that stride, we might be really good. We might have a good season just because of, like you said, we have a very easy start of our season. We might be okay. We might make the playoffs. If our line plays well, if our quarterback plays well, our defense is great. We have, in my opinion, we have probably the best defense on paper in the league. In my opinion, at least the secondary with Nasir Adderley and
at least in this division right now. In the division right now, I would put you and Denver, like the Chargers and Denver, as the best defenses in this division. At least from my opinion, I would say it's either 1A or 1B. Like, what do you like? Do you like the pass rush specialist in Denver, or do you like the turnover machine in Los Angeles? It depends what you like. You know what I mean? But
I know what you mean.
I mean, but right now, as far as the best defense in the division, it's between you guys and Denver. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So at best right now, I think that's the only question marks is the offensive line play, and let's see what happens at quarterback for you guys, because that's the only thing I could think of that could be a question mark throughout the season is Herbert ready to play right now? Can Tyrod Taylor make something happen with this squad? And look, it's not the fact that you guys are not talentless at offense. It's just that offensive line kind of failed you guys at the end of the year, with injuries, depth issues. It's not that Phillip Rivers couldn't do it. It's just the play couldn't develop because the offensive line wasn't holding up their end of the bargain. And that was the only thing. I mean, that was it. I mean, you guys don't have to be top 10 offensive linemen. If you guys are at least from 12 to 15, you have a shot. There's a real shot the Chargers can make some noise this year.
Oh, definitely. We have a shot. It's just, I'll say it first as a Chargers fan, I'm talking about all the other Chargers fans, but I don't even make the playoffs because the two most important positions in my mind are quarterback and offensive line. And those are the only questions we have, and I don't like those being the only questions that I'm not against the team. So we'll see. I hold up hope, but unless we magically grab a left tackle, somehow, some way, whatever. I don't see it making playoffs. That's me. But
if Gronk came out of retirement, you think Joe Thomas would like to come out of retirement?
Hey, that's what
I'm just throwing a couple names out there. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing some names out there. That's all. That's all I'm doing.
Some of you don't, man.
I mean, look, if Joe Thomas were to come back today, he probably would be your best offensive tackle. And he has been out of football for what, a year or two now? Like,
yeah, 2-3 years.
So it's like, so it really all does depend. I mean, I'm on the same boat as you, but I'm not so worried about my offensive line. What I'm worried about is that defense, because we have some nice pieces with Max Crosby, Pharrell, Trayvon Mullen came up late in the year, but he showed some promise. It's just overall as a unit, we were efficiently the worst defense in the league. So that's my only thing is did we do enough in free agency and in the draft to just solidify the defense and be like, look, I'm not asking these guys to be top 10, top 5. I'm just asking these guys if my offense can put up 24 points, hold them to 14 or 17. Just hold them to that much.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know.
I mean,
nobody on your defense scares me. Nobody on your offense scares me yet.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like we have nice pieces. We just don't have a full unit yet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because look.
I agree with you for one. I don't know. I was going to ask you too if you think the Raiders can make the playoffs this year. I don't.
Oh, playoffs? Oh man, playoffs with this schedule? If we do, it's the last seed. And that's it. But what I'm banking on at that point is for 50% of the league to have a shit year. Like, that's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on the division to have a terrible year, and I'm banking on 7 to 8 other teams to have a terrible year as well.
Terrible year.
But if they make... Now, I will say this. They will have a better record than last year. I will say that. I think if we play to our potential and that these guys, this new draft class comes in, it just helps us a bit. Top ceiling, 10-6. Bottom ceiling, 8-8. And for me, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Okay?
You think 8-8? I don't know, man.
I mean, because we like. I mean, we have games where it's like, I know we're on the road, but I know we can take these guys. It's just up to them to put in the work.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, and then, of course, we have some teams that we're going to play at home. It's like, sheesh, they're tough, but we got the home field advantage. Use it, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Hey, man, we'll see. I just don't see it because I really like the first round pick. I knew you guys were going to go with. I don't know why anyone. I don't know why anyone thought they. I
think now that you bring it up, I think the reason we went for Ruggs is I think John Gruden the night before dusted off his Antonio Brown playbook and he just scratched off the name and put Henry Ruggs. Okay, here we go. That's it. That's all he did. That's all John Gruden did. Like that was the decision. Wednesday night, somewhere between 8 and 10 p.m., he found a notebook or he found a playbook of just strictly Antonio Brown plays. He took off the tape, he put Henry Ruggs on it, and it's like, okay, this is our playbook, but this is your playbook, Henry Ruggs. Just study this and you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Just do every route.
I mean, I think that's all he did. I think that's all John Gruden did. Like, hey, just scratch off Antonio Brown and just put Henry Ruggs. Like, that's all I need. I just need some speed there. That's all I need. Like that.
That's it.
I mean, that's it. That's all he did. He didn't do anything crazy. He didn't do anything flashy. He just said, hey, man, I need a speedster. I mean, I got Tyrell Williams. I got Hunter Renfrow. I got Zay Jones. I got Nelson Aguilar. But I need another speedster. So, yeah, give me Henry Ruggs. Give me that guy. Give me that guy. Give me the guy that started the combine, ran to the other side of the building in 5 seconds, and ran off in a limousine for the rest of the day. So give me that guy. All right? Like, I made a joke the other day about it, like talking about Henry Ruggs. I'm like, you know what? There's a part of me that believes that Al Davis came back from the dead for at least 2 minutes and said, give me the fastest guy on the field. 2 minutes is all it took. Like, but whatever. He's look, I'm excited to have him because I like his play. I don't know, man. I've seen so many receivers with like so many fast 40 times and they just crash and burn. I hope he's not another one of those. So, I mean,
I will say, I studied the man's face, and he has hands. He actually has big hands.
He does. Yeah. Oh no.
9-inch hands.
Look.
And then he has great reactability and all that stuff. I was looking at all the little draft analysis and people, and everyone saying CeeDee Lamb was better. He was like the third wide receiver that should have been taken, and I was last time. I He was getting drafted, but
For me personally, like as a Raider fan, I was very shocked. But look, for me, this is the positives I can say about Henry, and I said this multiple times during the whole mock draft season was, look, he's got excellent hand-eye coordination, excellent concentration. He's incredibly fast, and he can run routes. That's fine. The only thing is, though, I don't know how I feel wasting the number 12 pick on a guy who his highest career at Alabama was 46 receptions. And I say that vividly because you have all that speed and you have much other help out there from Jerry Jeudy to Devontae Smith that you're telling me as fast as you are, you only got 46 receptions. That's my only negative is that his reception counts doesn't match up to his play. So, I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there wasn't enough footballs. Maybe there wasn't enough footballs to throw around in Alabama. I don't know. But you would think with the dude with a little bit more speed, you would think at least 55, 65, you know? Flirting with 70. You know, that's my only negative on Henry Ruggs is I don't know how I feel wasting a pick on that high with his highest being 46. Like that's just me.
Yeah,
that's just me. You know, but
I want to get hurt.
I mean, but you guys came back and decided to take Kenneth Murray, and screw you guys. Screw you guys, man. Don't you already got Melvin Ingram? Like, you need more?
Don't sleep on Joe Reed. Looking at Joe Reed, he was a first round.
I mean, do you guys need more linebackers? Seriously? Do you guys need more linebackers?
Yeah. Hey, man. We did. I mean, you know, Kenneth Murray was a major improvement. We only have really one real linebacker on the depth chart. I don't even remember the kid's name.
Don't give me that, Roy. Don't give me that crap. Don't give me that crap.
I'm serious. We lost the pick for Henry Bryan in free agency. What's his name from? You know.
Yeah, the kid from Akron. Yeah, well, the kid from Akron's gone. I know that. I know he bounced, which is it's sad, man, because like he was doing really well for you guys. Like he came in and he was knocking it out of the park. Really, he's
balling, dude. Hey, we got a better player. We got a better player now. I just wish we had a better offensive line, but we'll see. I'm telling you, the defense is going to be nasty. The Chargers defense, you know, we'll be nasty. We'll be extremely nasty. We got a Legion of Boom 2.0. But,
there you go.
I am really nervous about quarterback play. I'm really nervous about offensive line play.
I mean,
we'll see how this goes.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, you know, this is going to be fun. You know, the schedule's out. We don't know what the aspect is going to happen down the road. You know, we don't know because what it is right now in this world, it's just the unknowns out there. We don't know what's going to happen. But at least this can kind of give us some hope and maybe just a little distraction from the real world right now.
A little normalcy, man. A little normalcy.
I mean, just go back to normal things, man. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. But, you know.
No, I don't want to talk about killer bees anymore. The killer bees in Washington.
God. You know, and what's messed up is I actually made a joke about that because in April it was raining and I'm like, man, I got a bad feeling about this. I think there's going to be some like mutated plants that are going to grow under the ground. No, it's worse. It's killer bees and stuff. I'm like, come on, man. I was just joking about the weather in April and then it backfires on me because now we have freaking killer bees and stuff. It's like, come on, man. I don't need this.
Come on, man.
I don't need this.
I don't need that. I just want to watch football and basketball, man.
I just like that. And I saw something the other day. It's like, what is one thing that COVID-19 took away from you? Dude, I had game tickets to the first Lakers playoff game.
You're lying.
I was ready to go. I was actually going to surprise my girl. I was going to surprise my girl to take her to a Lakers playoff game. And that happened, dude.
See, that's ugly, girl. I gotta shout you out right now. But take your girl to her first Lakers playoff game. That's ugly, girl, right there.
Hey, look, man. It was a very expensive penny. I will say that it was but I had the money, I got it back, and it sucks, dude, because it's like, dude, I was looking forward to that because this is the first time the Lakers we're gonna go to the playoffs in a really long time. And it's like, well, thanks, COVID-19, for taking my fun.
Yeah, COVID-19 fucked you with no lose. No,
Like, come on, man. Like, but
years over there,
I tell you, but Roy, I want to thank you again for joining. And a lot of people actually put on some positive things that they love the show. You know, they thank you for being on. I thank you for being on. And you know, hopefully this whole thing's over, dude. We can we can get a cold beer somewhere in town, talk about the season and everything.
I would love to get a cool beer with you and watch some games, man. Besides, watch some games, play some fantasy football.
I'm ready.
I got second place last year in our league. I was pissed off because I was winning. I thought I was going to.
I mean, dude, you were half away. I mean, you were one half away from winning that pod. It's just, it happens, man. It happens. I know, man.
I started Austin Eckler in my last game. I would win, but I started someone else, and it's okay. It's all right. All right, it happens next year, though.
Next year, that's all we could. And see, that's the beauty thing about. That's the beauty thing about sports is there's always next year. There's always next year, just to give you that little hope that something changes next year.
Yeah, that's it.
But other than that, Roy, I want to thank you, man. You have yourself a wonderful night, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bud?
Yeah, man. Thanks for the call.
All right. Take care, my man.
All right. Take care.
Right. So that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That was my buddy Roy. Look, he's very excited about the Charger season, but he just didn't like, again, that last, 4 out of 6. It's just we both agreed at best 2-2. The Raiders, they got thrown a bone. 3 out of 4 at home to end of the year. It's just the first part's going to be tough. The Broncos, it's a 50-50 with them. And then with the Chiefs, well, they're the Super Bowl champs. So nothing but good things should probably come their way. So we'll see. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. For everybody that commented, from Mr. M. Waters, absolutely go Raiders. Home opener, I cannot wait. Carla, football games. I know I'm excited for it. Do we have any other comments on the thing on Facebook Live? Nope, that was it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Facebook Live and tuning in here on YouTube Live. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the NFC West. I do have a couple people. I do have some more guests. I got my buddy George, who's going to talk about the Niners. I got my cousin Lily, who's lives in Texas but loves the Rams. And I do have one more. Hopefully, he's able to join if his work schedule isn't too loopy. My buddy Jason for the Arizona Cardinals. So we'll see how it goes. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Above all else, go Raiders, man.